Welcome to my session. We'll be talking about Microsoft 365 Teams administration. We'll talk about roadmap features. We'll look at Teams from the telephony perspective, with at the Copilot standpoint. What are the configurations? What are the options? What are the agents? We'll also look at the live demo of the Copilot in Teams administration or the Copilot that is available on the Teams admin center. How many of us have used the Copilot basically in the Teams admin? It works fine. Okay. How about you? Okay, perfect. We'll talk about those. We'll talk about some additional agents. What are the different agents? I have a dedicated session tomorrow morning. That's in the next room. That wherein we'll talk about all the different agents that are available in Microsoft Teams with Copilot Premium. So we'll talk about all those tomorrow. We'll look at the demo, whether it's a researcher agent, analyst agent, all those, including the facilitator agent, interpreter agent. But that would be something that we will be doing tomorrow. Today, we'll focus on the administration part, look at what the feature roadmap is, few features which have been called out, like automatically detecting your work location. All those things is something that we would be discussing as well in the roadmap features as well. Thank you to the sponsors. The land is momentum. Cisco Anywhere Now and Orchestra. Without them and also without you all, the attendees, this event would have not been possible. Uh, if you would have seen, there is an email that was sent out uh, a few minutes ago, probably 30 minutes ago. There is a bingo card. You can go and grab those, get those signed by the sponsors, and enter into a lucky draw for a specific surprise. So something about me in this industry for almost 13 years, more than 13 plus years now, almost 14 years now, supporting Microsoft 365 services, helping customers deploy Microsoft Teams 365, now slowly, gradually getting into Microsoft 365 Copilot, Teams Premium, Microsoft Places, helping customers deploy all those. I am based out of Toronto, Canada. Uh, I work at my own organization, helping customers move from their legacy platform onto Microsoft 365 as such. I work majorly with the state and local government, both in states as well as in Canada as well. And my expertise comes in more on complex countries where uh, whether the Microsoft 365 services deployment is difficult or requires additional configurations beyond your standard license assignment as what we would be covering today during the session would be enhancement. What is coming in? If someone have attended Jamie's session, which was right before this, he talked about more of the services from Teams Phone perspective, but we would be talking about Teams Phone, but we'll also look at other configurations. Well, we are at the agenda slide. How many of us use Copilot, the premium version? It's the smartwatch. Okay. The premium version of the Copilot. Okay. Uh, have you all used it? Everyone would have used it in Teams Meet, correct? If the meeting is hosted by an external organization, can you use Copilot? Yes, no, maybe. So let's take an example. If Microsoft.com has sent out a meeting invite to JavaCore.com, can Java Core users use Microsoft 365 Copilot in their team in that meeting? Okay, no problems. The answer is yes. There is a specific configuration that needs to be looked into the Teams Admin Center, and then there is a B2B federation that needs to be assigned. And once that is there in place, both the organizations can use Copilot in their meet. So users from one organization would be able to use the Copilot feature, full feature of your Microsoft 365 Copilot natively on your tenant account, you don't need to have a specific account as such on the other tenant, or you don't need a guest access. You don't need to have licenses assigned on the other tenant as such. Um, Copilot during a live call, so you can leverage Copilot into Teams call as well, whether it is an internal call, whether it's an external call. You can use Copilot onto your Teams call. It works seamlessly. It would provide you all the detail. It would be able to summarize your emails, summarize your call, give you a transcript out of this. You can extract the output. You can give them a next action plan. All those things can be added up and can be sent across seamlessly without any problem. So if your users are using Teams for making more of the calls, internal, external, in those cases, this would be one of the useful features that is coming up as well. We'll talk about Copilot only mode. So if transcripts are not turned on, can we use Copilot? Yes. No? So there is a transcript. Even if the transcript is not turned on, we have a feature called as just Copilot. This would be getting rebranded, wherein even if the transcripts are not turned on, you can still use Copilot in a one-to-one call. You can use Copilot into your Teams meeting. So, for an example, if you have an hour-long meeting and you come in 15 minutes late, someone has not started the recording, someone has not started the transcript, how would you use Copilot? You can use the same just Copilot feature and recap those meetings, irrespective the transcript is turned on or turned off. So there is a feature in the Teams Admin Center that needs to be turned on, where Copilot can be used without being using the transcript. Feature was initially launched for our financial customers, which Microsoft had, where they cannot record the calls, they cannot have transcripts turned on. But with this feature, you would be able to use the Microsoft 365 Copilot as such without any transcript. Moving on to the next feature, this got released in April, where if you are transferring a call, if someone comes in, if you would have called in any of your banking services or in an airline case as well, if the call gets transferred, you have to repeat all over again with all the information. So that's one challenge that's always there, whether you are transferring the call to an internal user or you're transferring the call to an external. In this case, uh, this is a feature that is available where you can send the transcript to the person, whichever you are transferring the call. Question comes in: who needs the Copilot license? The person who answered the call first needs the Copilot license, but the second person who is receiving it or the call to the transfer person does not need to have a Copilot license. Only the person who received or who is transferring the call needs to have the Copilot license. Any questions on the topics that we have covered up till now? Right? Uh, Now, we are also getting a new feature wherein we would also be having a summary. You can go back of all your audio calls, whether you're having the calls on your desktop application or you're having a call onto your IP phone. So if you have a Polycom or a Creston or a Yelling phone and you want to go back and review the call logs on the Copilot side, you can do that. And the most important thing are this ones where you can have a custom templates created for any specific kind of a summary that you might require for your WhatsApp. All those possibilities are available. Good. Moving on with you can always leverage the Copilot here. Enhanced call queue management, one of the feature that was added as well, where you can the feature of whisper bar monitor was available always. It came in last year, but now there are some add-ons controls that have been added where you can have your shared call history coming in. You would be able to view which of the voicemails have been answered, which voicemails have not been answered. All those calls can be well, questions before we move to the next feature as such. Um, Silent coaching, one of the feature that was added as well, wherein you can go back and coach the user. If someone is already on the call, you can go barge in. All those functionality is that something that's available. Shared call history, one of the most predominantly required or requested features, have is now generally available, where you can review the shared calls, which calls have been resolved, have not been resolved. There was a session earlier which Zach did at 1 p.m. was the call where he given you a demo, like it was a complete demo, and then we would also have a recording of that session as such, where if any calls are not resolved or if any voicemails have not been answered, and if someone answers it from the group, it automatically replicates for all the other users. Any questions till that? And then the most important one was in the Teams Admin Center, we have a Copilot. So we have a Copilot within the Teams Admin Center, which would help us a lot of features that we can use within the Teams Admin Center. You would be able to manage the policies. You would be able to manage how many free DIDs you have in your organization, how many users have been assigned with an enterprise voice. All those things that you would have to initially download the CSV for all the users in the organization and then go ahead and filter it by enterprise voice. Uh, those things are something that it provides you natively. In addition to that, it also helps you in troubleshooting the call. You can go back and uh, provide uh, we- provide like, okay, this specific user is having an issue with with Microsoft Teams. It allows you to go and look at that specific users. What are the issues that user is facing? Whether the issues are more predominantly from a network side, whether the user's configuration is not proper, or there is a licensing update that needs to happen. All those things is provided natively by this Copilot. Uh, Next is the live demo that we would be doing before we hit uh, into the roadmap features. So this is a feature of what I was referring to earlier, what is called as a B2B member access, and that needs to be turned on, and you need to have a business to business AD synchronization, post which you can use Copilot in each other's domain. One Copilot license that is assigned to you on your main domain, and then you can use it with whichever domain users you have a B2B configuration. And one single Copilot license that on the other meetings and configuration. Did I go too fast? Anything that you would like me more before we get into before we get into the Copilot? Okay. Uh, Go ahead. Correct. So all the levels, whether it's the manager or supervisor of the queue, as well as the participants of the queue or aid, everyone would have the access to the voicemail, and the supervisor would also be able to see which voicemails have been addressed, which voicemail needs to be further. All those. Correct. Yes, that is the Teams premium license is still a part. I know Microsoft Places was taken out of the premium, but Teams Queues app would still. Teams premium license both to the admins or the supervisors as well as for. Okay. Before we get into this Copilot, so in your admin.teams.microsoft.com, you have your Copilot. That's something that you would be able to see within the admin center. But before we get into this one, just wanted to go into the meeting setting and go now, but it's in the meeting. No, not in the meeting setting, at the meeting policy. So under the meeting policy, there is a feature that is something that we always recommend to turn it on. Yep. Copilot mode is something that I always recommend to keep it on mode. So if it is if it is configured on the on mode, you would not require to turn on the transcription. Even if the transcription is turned on, you would still be able to use Copilot in those meetings or in those calls. If transcription are not turned on, you can still use Copilot. Copilot without transcription. This is the configuration that needs to be turned on your tenant. So if you do not have transcription turned on, you can still use Copilot. One limitation of that is Copilot would only be available during the meeting. As soon as the meeting is over, your temporary transcripts get deleted, and then you would not be able to use Copilot after the meeting. That's one thing to be mindful in terms of this feature being turned on. So if you want to use Copilot after the meeting, the transcript will be turned on as well. Okay. Um, I'll go to the top. Few important things on the Copilot side for the Teams Admin Center. It can find your users. It can give you which numbers are free. It does not understand the term DID right now. It only understands the terminology numbers. Uh, Again, it does not understand the concept of service numbers versus a user number right now. Things that is being work in progress. But it would give you a list of all the users that are not assigned with the phone numbers. It will give you a list of all the numbers that are assigned, which numbers are free, which providers are integrated into your admin center. If you need to assign a phone number to a user, you can assign to this profile. Question comes in. What license do I need? We need a Microsoft 365 Copilot Premium license, or what is called as the full-fledged Copilot license on the Microsoft 365. No other licenses are required. You need to have that premium license that costs $30 per user per month. The admin who would be using it needs to have this or needs to have it. You can also use it with the pay-as-you-go subscription that comes in. So you can also use it with those as well. What else it can provide you, or what else it can help you? Troubleshooting any of your team's policies if your users are facing any issues, like network issue. If your users are facing any kind of an issue, at that time, you can troubleshoot on any of whether the policies assignments are incorrect, if the features are not enabled for that specific policies, you can troubleshoot all those things. Few things that I prompted it right before coming into the session is how many users are enabled on Teams Telephone. Give me two users. Two users are enabled. And these are the two users that are enabled for Teams 4. I asked him, what help can you do? It can also do things on SharePoint side. It can also do things on Exchange side as well. Updating all those kind of an configuration, it can troubleshoot into your Teams meeting. One advanced analytics capability is added in premium ways where you can get 7 days of user analytics saved under the user profile. It can even go down and search in that user profile for this specific analytics across those meetings. The other question that I did prompt it was if my users are facing any issues. Since this is my demo tenant, I don't make much calls here. It was not able to find any calls, so it gave me like the steps. This is how you would be able to find it. It gives me reference back to the Microsoft loan articles as I again asked how many paid EIDs I have. It was not able to find that. So it was not able to understand that DID terminology right now. But as soon as I change it from DID to numbers, it is able to give me all the numbers that are available in my. So it can give you all those. Right now in this tenant, I only have two users. I only have a bunch of 25 DIDs that are there. Some are operator connect, some are my calling plans. So I can go back and look at it. But if this is more than 100 users or if it is more than 1,000 users, having checking in manually is not possible at all. You can absolutely download the report. You can absolutely go back and filter it by enterprise voice uh, capability and then look at it. But this is some advanced version that is available inbuilt in your team's admin center. It can assign licenses, it can assign GID, you can assign policies, you can add users to the group, you can add group-based assignments that you have. If anything is those are available, it and this stuff. Before we move on, any questions? No, you have to be having a main office with five admin. Unfortunately, not the partner admin, because when you are using the partner, you would go via the partner admin center. In that case, no, that is not accessible right. I haven't seen that yet, but could be. It definitely would not do an assigning all the numbers as such, but I haven't done that testing much on that side, like understanding all the numbers, because if I have thousand numbers that are assigned, that is something that I would have to go back and check on that side. Yeah, but I don't think so that would happen. It would trigger an alert and ask you for a confirmation on that side. This is one on the Copilot side, and there is another feature that is coming in uh, on the Microsoft 365 Copilot where it is called as co-work. Not sure if you are it. Uh, in co-work, it gives you a confirmation. Do you want to ask? It prompts you for a confirmation. Do you want to do this task or get this built up according? Any questions on this one as such? Anything before we jump into the roadmap? What is can? Okay. Let's move into the upcoming roadmap features. And if needed, we can definitely go back. We'll have on Q&A towards the end as well. Uh, Coming in towards the in September timeframe, but timeframes can change where you can have interactive agents within Teams meeting and calls. Right now, the one agent that we have in Teams meeting and calls are the facilitator agent that is available. Things are changing, more enhanced capabilities are coming in agent as well. One of the biggest limitation of your facilitator agent is if you are using facilitator agent on your IP phone, you cannot use it right now. The functionality is not available natively on your team native IP. We are not talking about SIP phones. We are talking about team phone devices, which is now moving into Pro Portal. But Teams phone devices is something where you would have an interpreter agent coming in. So if your users are more used to taking calls on a Teams IP call, that's where you would be able to have an interpreter coming in. And if language is a barrier, that's something that can be addressed. Testing your microphone before you join a meeting. So this feature is coming in early next. It is coming in this month itself, where you would be able to test your microphone. So whether your voice is going through or not, you would be able to confirm even before you join the meeting. One additional feature that is coming in along with this is the end button for your calls, where you have share and end button next to each other. Even that's moving as well, based on the customer's feedback. That is moving away, and things would be much better, and you would not be able to, or you would not be dropping from those calls any further. Most talk feature which got pushed out is detecting, automatically updating your work location. So based on users connecting to the Wi-Fi, whether they are working from office location, which building they are working in, whether they are in office, whether they are working from home, all those things. The only updates that an Teams application would be able to get is whether the user is working from office, or and if they are working from office, which building they are. If this is only possible when your administrator enables. So, as a Teams administrator, the Teams admin will have to come in, enable the feature, build the building information that is required, and update the Wi-Fi access point or the BSS IDs for having this feature work. But there is a lot more work for an administrator to enable this feature. This feature would not, if just turned on, would not give the information to your admins or to your supervisor or your boss that way, oh, he's working from this location. If you're working from an airport, it won't give that in location information to your admin or anyone else. So whenever a user is working from anywhere else outside the office premises, outside your work location, in that case, your longitude and latitude information is not shared with the ad. So longitude and latitude information only and only is shared with the 911 providers for 911. So this feature is not, this feature have been, it was there in Link 2013, was there in Skype for Business. It's just that this something that is coming into as well. Any questions on this feature? Because I know this was the most debated feature in terms of upcoming roadmap as such. Okay, all good. Multi-line capabilities on Teams phone devices. So now you can have more than one TI that can be assigned to a user. You can assign 10 TID, one single user. Why the number 10? I have no idea. The only thing is you can have 10 numbers as such to assign to a user. This feature functionality right now is available on the Teams IP. Will be added on your team desktop applications as well, where you can have 10 DIDs assigned. Your your primary your primary DID can be calling plan, can be operator connect, or direct route. Yeah, primary would be, and then you'll be add 9 more. Now, there was a limitation when you assign this feature. Is when you assign your primary DID, it takes in your location. It takes in which country the user is assigned your location in the team, not in the Teams admin center, but in your main admin center, in your Microsoft 365 admin center, you have a country defined, whether it is coming in United States, UK, or Germany. And based on that, you can assign the primary number. That limitation does not comes in for your next 9 numbers that you will be assigned. Only the primary number location will be taken in from the country. If you have US, you would have the US number assigned for the primary phone number, but your secondary numbers can be Germany, can be India, can be Australia, any country. You can use Operator Connect, you can use direct routing, or even RDP. You can have multiple phone numbers assigned one single user. Any questions on that? But in the Teams admin center, just where you have the assigned phone numbers, just run another line. Right now, we only had an option to assign private numbers. We'll also have an option to assign more numbers. Thank you. Any more questions? Well, before we go back into the depth, we looked at Copilot in the Teams admin center. So the question that you had was in terms of user. So this is where you have the assign phone numbers option. You would have that just below this. Here you have one. You'll have more details, and then you would have more phone numbers assignment that can be assigned to the user. Few changes. We did talk about the B2B access. One thing that is changing on the collaboration side, um, they have the custom mode feature functionality. So if you want to restrict your users, you want to restrict specific users communicating externally, you still can do that seamlessly using the custom mode option. You can pick and choose which options would be enabled or which users would be enabled for external collaboration. Earlier, this was uh, tenant-wide configurations. You can definitely do it on the end user level as well. Things client information, which users are using, which specific version of Teams is something that's now natively available as well. Function allows you to look at which version of Teams, whether you're using on the VDI or if you're using Mac or Windows. If you have users who are using Teams on the mobile devices, what all information are there. Because now Microsoft will only be supporting going back free version of the team. So one thing that we can always keep updating or keep looking at is, are my users on the latest version of the application? Any more, any questions, anything that want me to go deep dive further? What exactly you want? That no, it's absolutely. So you can do that. You still need to have a Teams premium license for that. Again, wherein it can run and do a silent testing at the back end and give you a report the next day. Yes, the feature functionality is natively available, but you would need to have Teams premium licenses. If you are looking to only use it for that one specific feature, I would not, because premium has a lot of other capabilities as well, like security and multi functionalities. So depends where you are in your journey, and then there are a lot of features that are getting added to the Copilot side as well. To a certain extent, yes. Cool. You all have been using Teams. You have also been using Microsoft Teams Premium. Some of you all have also using Microsoft Copilot. If you all are running any kind of an issue, there are a lot of optimization options that are available where Microsoft Team can come in, look at your network information, tell you what optimization happened. So all those are options that are available as well, where Microsoft folks comes in, that they have engineers who can be on site, could be doing remotely as well. All those options are available for your Teams, Teams Voice, Teams Premium, and for your events as well. So all those options are there. If you need any kind of a support around those, feel free to reach out to your account team and they should be able to guide you along if any optimizations are required. Especially when you are seeing a lot of issue from your network perspective that the users are reporting some issue around your uh, calls are not working because things can change. IP addresses changes. Uh, so just keep a tap around all those as well. Any more questions? In general, Teams phone, anything around that? Anything on license specific for Microsoft based IT? Well, you'll have a lot of time. Uh, Few things I'll cover from an analytics perspective as well. So this is where you would be able to see all your time. You can schedule up your test calls, get a report of the test calls. So all those things would be available as well. With Teams Premium, this is some kind of a report that you get as an additional add-ons where you are able to look at which users are working externally with external users, get a report of like last 28 days, 90 days, and up to 180 days where you would be able to get the premium report as well. And then you can also get a report around guest access as well. How many users, what are the features that they are predominantly using, and do an audit after every 90 days to update those as well. Um, Teams added the feature functionality of sending out SMS, only available for States and Canada based users. So SMS is one of the feature functionality which was predominantly requested. It is on works to be expanded to other countries as well. Any more questions? Features that you would like to see? Um, hey, I talk about one here. It's a wrap. Now, a few agents that are available within the Teams Admin Center or which you can control. Uh, Although you need Agent 365 licenses to see which agents are being predominantly used in your organization, whether you want to control which configurations are there. But there are few agents that are natively available within your Teams application or within the Teams admin center. Like one is your facilitator agent. You can enable it, disable it, although this is natively coming from Microsoft, where facilitator agent can go in, can keep a track of all your meetings. It can keep a track of whether the agenda is being followed. It can add up stop time, all those things. It will give you details around the wrap up time. It will discuss next action item. It would have a loop component created based on the conversation it is during in the meeting and assign those tasks within your team's meeting space. In addition to that, work is already in progress where you can add external users as well as guest users to have access to the facilitator agent's notes, as well as the task that is created so that they get a notification on their email as well. So that is something on the roadmap where you will be able to see those coming in as well. Any questions on this one? Okay. Um, how many of us are using phone in your organization? One. Yep. Precise. Okay. Now, uh, in Teams Phone, there is a concept of personal assistant that is coming in. It's on the roadmap, uh, but that feature is coming in called as personal assistant. Uh, if you're using Microsoft calling plans, or even if you're using the Operator Connect services, or even the direct routing, at times you get spam calls coming in, calls that are not intended for you, or elicited calls that are coming in where you don't want to add those calls or don't want to address those calls. Um, if you use your regular Google device, would have a feature called as screen the. A similar feature is coming in the team side as well, where personal assistant can screen the call. You read the text, what the person is talking about. If you want to answer, you can take that call. If you don't want to answer, you send the call to voice, report the call as spam, and then that is logged. Same feature that you have on a no Google native devices is being added on your team. Expectation is it would reduce the number of spam calls the users are getting in. Again, the feature needs to be embedded, whether it would be part of premium or not, have no idea. Could be, we could have it in premium, but it could be native. Go ahead. It will work on all the, so even if you're getting Teams Nape call, would even be working. So the concept of a boss delegate, where you have used to have a physical person who would answer the call on behalf of you, Microsoft is completely replacing it with an AI agent that can screen the call for you if the call is really important. If you know who is calling in, at times, if someone is giving interview and you get a lot of spam call coming in, you can screen those calls, report it, and then put it. So those features are added. It is on the roadmap. Don't worry, it could be ready that November time frame then Microsoft Ignite. You still have the delegate, but instead of delegating it to a human, you would be delegating it to your personal assistant. It would still be there, and you'll have an option where you want to delegate those call to a personal assistant, or you want to delegate those call to a human as such. So you will have an option to pick and choose. I know it's already on Ring 0, where Microsoft is testing it internally. Some of the users have already been testing it. So, but soon those features would be available on in general Ring as well. Any more questions? Okay. Yeah. If you all don't have any questions, I would request you all after the session, please do complete the evaluations in the Just Attend mobile app for each session as well as the overall event. And with that, wrap up. Thank you.